Welcome back, everybody. This is Off Slate Media with our Bite-Sized Thursday.
Yo.
We are working through Star Wars Visions. I am Jared. This is Jake. And we are on the third episode titled The Twins, animated by Studio Trigger. Another Japanese studio, which I was scrolling through what they've made, and I have seen a feature-length movie they made called Promare. Came out in 2019 about firefighters, and it's awesome. Have you seen Promare?
I have not.
I went into it, seeing it in theaters 5 years ago, not having any idea what it was, and that was so much fun. And they had a movie come out last year that they worked on called Gridman Universe. I don't know anything about it, but I just seeing that as a more recent thing. They've also worked on Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which was this year, which has been recommended to me. And Little Witch Academia is another thing they've worked on, some features and a couple shorts. But yeah, that's what they're known for. Been around for about 12 years, it looks like. And yeah, the Twins. So again, the name of the episode. We don't know anything about anything moving forward. I see the cast is Neil Patrick Harris, Allison Brie are the two recognizable names. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this, especially being familiar with at least the animation style of the one thing I've seen.
All right.
Gotcha. So, let's get into it.
All right. Let's
take a bite. And we're back after watching The Twins, animated by Studio Trigger, and I quite like that. I've liked all of them so far.
That was pretty chaotic. I liked it, but it was pretty chaotic.
Yeah. And
I have a question.
Yes.
How come people are okay with this, but if Leia breathes out in space and pulls herself back into a spaceship, the Force doesn't work that way?
No, that's not how the Force works. Yeah, I skimmed a few again because IMDb. I looked at it. I was like, why do people not like this? Oh, are people really trying to go into the quote unquote science of this universe when this is an anthology of people's interpretations of the franchise that is non-canon? Why do you care? It's like, well, this spaceship wouldn't do this, and it wouldn't work this way. I'm like, they're standing outside fighting in space. Who cares?
It's so badass, too.
They blow stuff up.
His lightsaber is the size of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, and
it cuts a Star Destroyer in half, and he uses the X-Wing's engines to do it. What are we talking about?
If you think about it, also, it goes into what is it called? Hyperspace, right?
Yeah.
Goes into hyperspace. Yeah. Outside of it, who cares?
And then crashes nose first into Tatooine.
And other people are like, well, the story felt rushed. I'm like, they have 17 minutes. This is 17 minutes. They have 17 minutes. Was it like the greatest, subtlest way of storytelling? No. It's just over-the-top exposition dumps on a bunch of explosions. That's what it's supposed to be. And having seen
Sounds
Promare,
like all the best anime I've ever seen.
Yeah, and seeing Promare and knowing like that chaotic animation is what they excel at, and it looks great. Like, why would I complain? Now, if this was like a full show and every episode was like that, yeah, it could get tiring. But I thought it was fun. And again, the animation's great. So far, every episode, the animation's been great. And all three have been different. And that's the whole point of this. It's an anthology. A non-canonical anthology. I love Allison Brie, and I love Allison Brie's voice work in shows I've seen her in, particularly BoJack. And I liked her in this, but it's like, oh, she's putting on the villain voice, and that's the fun of it. She I think did much better than Neil Patrick Harris, who was fine, but
was he the other twin?
Yeah, some of those.
So, gotta tell you, couldn't tell. I didn't. Yeah. I like that I couldn't listen to it and go, that's Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, there were a couple moments where it's like, yeah, this is originally in Japanese, and they're dubbing over, but it's like, yeah, no, you don't. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah, the performance is fine. It was just there are moments. It's like, is that the only take we had? Just no.
No.
So, yeah, that was my one thing of like, yeah, but they're having fun. They fight outside a conjoined Star Destroyer. It's not about story. It's about visuals. What?
That was so funny because just so. It reminded me of kind of how the later episodes of The Fairly Odd Parents, just because it's so chaotic. Also,
but different kind of chaos.
A different kind of chaos, yeah.
I would say like what we watched, Crocker of Gold, like 2 years ago on here.
Something like that, yeah.
And that's chaotic because story-wise, things just get thrown in, and the pacing is so quick of the story beats that nothing registers. It's just, oh. Whereas this, it's mostly one location, and the story doesn't move anywhere because it's just these two fighting. But it's chaotic in its pacing of like action and animation. But the Fairly Odd Parents thing, they were jumping spot to spot, and this came in, and that came in, and the kitchen sink, and it was like, I can't get my bearings. This at least established.
Yeah, well, it didn't move around that much, as about like from where they were.
Yeah, it's and
it's
that
he
one
rides
big fight.
The lights. He rides the X-wing through the.
I know, it splits it in half, and I looked at you and said, "It always looks cool when they blast through ships in hyperspace."
That wouldn't happen.
That wouldn't happen.
That wouldn't happen if an X-wing went through into hyperspace through a Star Destroyer. Why would you believe that?
Who cares? It's stupid and looks cool. Big thing go boom.
Also, whatever the heck her lightsaber was, General Grievous, eat your heart out.
Oh yeah, all the extensions, and they're like whips. And what is it about animated swords and lightsabers that just move in different ways that are so cool? I'm thinking of what's.
This is probably actually how they were envisioned to move originally.
Just limitations of effects at the time. You wonder, but just that whipping. I think it's a whip, but it's a sword. Just kind of like, what is her name from Demon Slayer?
Interpretations of how it is.
Yeah. What is her name from Demon Slayer? The one that has like the whip sword. One of the Hashira.
The love one?
Yeah. Can never remember people's names.
I don't remember her name either.
But,
She's got the pink hair.
Yeah, but she's got like that sword that comes out. It becomes a whip. It's like, that's so cool. I don't care how it works. It's cool. So
it's
seeing
animated. It doesn't matter how it works.
Yeah, and could you imagine them trying to do something like this in live action? It looks so lame.
Now, there was a point where I think that it would have worked live action. It'd have been cheesy as heck, but
yeah, it's just you can do so much more stylistically with animation.
No, but that's not how it works.
Right.
Just like he couldn't stop those stun rays, even though Kylo Ren stopped a laser blast.
It's like, it's cool. Who cares?
Yeah, it's cool. Who cares?
Yeah, I had a good time, and I think you said for one moment, like, how did he get in? If he's not,
yeah.
How do you get next week? Wait, I pull it back. I think I said, Jake, people steal stuff all the time.
Also, let's not ignore the fact, I'm not going to put this on the writers. 2 of the 3 episodes we've watched in the series so far, women have been the villains. Star Wars fans just don't like women.
Yeah. We already knew that, though.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens going forward, but so far, 2 out of the 3, yeah, the main antagonist has been a woman. This one, though, they're siblings, and technically they're both evil, but then he became good for some reason. I will give it that. We're not really given a reason. All we need is like one line, but I just think he's like, no, it's too...
What exposition dumps are they talking about? I have no idea the motivation for him other than he is trying to save his sister from something that I don't know. Yeah. Like,
being consumed by the power of a kyber crystal. It's like, okay. Like, that's one part I'd be like, yeah.
It's Star Wars. It's stupid.
And I love it. Yeah.
I can accept that. Why can't you accept that, Internet?
Yeah. And again, stylistically, mwah. Like, That first episode is still top of the list when it comes to the visuals. This one's right underneath it. And that's not discounting the second episode. It's just different.
I like our duo.
Our duo. Yep, his droid. Saves the day. Our boy gets launched into space, and then our duo with the X-Wing picks him up, and then because they were starting to go into hyperspace, I was like, is he really on the nose of that thing? With the when he can like push the power of his lightsaber to be huge. And I'm like, who cares? Let's go.
But then suddenly shrink it minutely and surgically
In
enough.
perfect time to just get the kyber crystal out of his sister's dark suit, and then blast off to Tatooine. Of course, it was Tatooine. Yeah, so this is supposed to be long after. So it says the remnants of the First Order and Sith Eternal will begin the construction, is what this is telling me. So I think this is post sequel trilogy. Yeah, again, it's not canon, but that's when it apparently takes place. It says in the aftermath of the Battle of Exegol. I should have looked up what that was.
What is Exegol? Is that the place where they
I don't remember. That's why I said I should have looked it up.
find Emperor Cloney Boy?
Somehow he returned. Star Wars Battle of Exegol. Let's see.
This is a live lookup.
Okay. Yeah, the Battle of Exegol is in The Rise of Skywalker. And it's, okay. Yeah, I believe that's the end battle.
Okay.
Which makes sense. It's saying, okay, in the aftermath of the end of The Rise of Skywalker, this is where this takes place. Again, not canon. Compared to that 9th movie, I wish it was canon.
Well, I mean, in canon, I don't actually know if they're canon anymore, but there were twins in the extended universe.
Yeah, Han's kids, right?
No, I think there were Luke's.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Someone's kids.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's all myths or whatever now.
Legends.
Legends.
Is what they call it.
Yeah. Anyway, good episode. Anything else?
No.
All right. Before we say next week's episode, Jake, where can they find us?
If you want to keep having these Star Wars visions with us, check us out on Facebook, X,
Formerly known as Twitter.
Instagram, our funny TikTok, and I think that's all the socials we have, yeah?
Yeah.
If you want to check us out just on your standard podcasting websites, you can check us out and rate us on Apple, Spotify. That one's not there anymore. That one's not there anymore. iHeartRadio, I know that one's there. Or anywhere you can get your podcasts, really. And finally, right here on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button, ring our bell, and
Check out our groovy website. Yeah.
yeah.
There we go. Next week, episode 4, titled The Village Bride, animated by Kinema Citrus. Or Cinema, but it starts with a K, so I'm going to say Kinema. Kinema Citrus. But that's next week.
I don't have to worry about that till next week.
Yeah.
That's future us problem.
Yes. Anyway, until then, let's
Take a bite. That's the wrong month.
Oh,